Hello and welcome to the Moonshine Stitches podcast. My name is Sydney and I am a knitter slash crocheter from Northeast Pennsylvania, and this is a YouTube channel where I talk about the things I've been making in the past couple weeks. Got a lot to talk about today. I have one finished object, my two cardigan works in progress, and a sock you've seen and a sock you haven't seen yet. So let's get into it. My finished object is my Hello Pumpkin Socks by Sock Witchery. That's the pattern, Hello Pumpkin. And I made these, hold on, I'll just show you one. You see there's two. They're exactly the same. Wait, not exactly the same. This one has like a little bit of orange right here. This one does not. So, hold on, let me put that back. Okay. So like I said, these are the Hello Pumpkin Socks by Sock Witchery. It has this really cute, textured pattern here. And I made these using nomadic yarns. The colorway is Halloweentown on their trusty sock base, which is their 75-25 merino nylon base. And then the toe and the heel are made in Knit Pick Stroll Midnight Heather. The toe I used is like a modified rounded toe. I've also seen this recently described as an umbrella toe, which I'm not sure if you could see like the decreases there, but it does look like an umbrella and I like that better. But I have the like modifications I use on this linked in a Ravelry page in the description below. And then the heel is a shadow wrap heel. I learned this through a tutorial on YouTube from Earth Tones Girl. I was just looking at her book yesterday in a yarn shop and I am very tempted by it. So maybe I'll pick that up eventually. Sidetracked. I used size 2.25 millimeter needles. I almost always, by almost always, I mean I always use 9-inch circulars, Chiaogu, like the red lace minis. And then I switched to magic loop for the toe because it gets too fiddly and like you can't do it on a 9-inch. What else do I have to say about these? I did the size where it's 65 stitches around, and then I did like 20-ish rows of 2x2 ribbing, and that's it. I really love these. I finished them a little while ago. In fact, I could tell you when I finished them. I've started like writing it down so like you could get kind of like an idea of how long these things take me. And it's good to know myself, I suppose. But I started these on April 6th and then finished them on May 8th. So just a little bit over a month for these guys. And I love them. I'm excited to wear them, though I'm not sure how much wear I'll get out of them because it's starting to warm up here in Northeast Pennsylvania. Though we did have a couple like really cold days this week/weekend. Oh, I should tell you today's date. It is Monday, Monday, May 25th. It is Memorial Day. Yeah. But yeah, that is all I really have to say about these. So we'll move into works in progress. of which I have 4. We'll start with what I am closest to finishing. I have it in this little bag here. This bag maker no longer makes bags, but it is probably like my most used bag. I love it so much. I love the handle and I love the zipper and I love the pattern. And I have some like little pins on there. The, oh man, Shellican. Super cute. Anyway, living in here is my Jasmine Cardigan. This is a test. I'm gonna put the hooks over here. Ow! I just scraped my arm. That hurt. Yes. This is my Jasmine Cardigan. It is a test I am doing for Haley Herman of Haley Handcrafted, and I am extremely close to being done with this. I love it so much. I am working right now on the not button band, like the edging, I guess we can call it. I've done 1 full row of the edging, and now I am working on the 2nd row. It's making this really nice, I hope you can see this. It's like a rounded edging here, a little bit nicer than just like a single row of single crochets. I really like it. It looks great. And then I did 1 tie, as we will be tying this in the front. But yeah, the last time you saw this, it was just like a strip of fabric down here at the bottom. And since then, I have finished the body and the front 2 panels and the back panel and done some of the front. I have not tried this on yet. Maybe we could do that. Let's do that. I'm really enjoying it. So, oh, bring that around. I think I just ripped out a bunch of stitches because I didn't put my stitch marker back on. Jeez Louise. I think this is gonna be great. So I am making the size large. It is a made to measure pattern, but there are suggested sizing for fingering weight yarn and like bust size. So the size I am doing, like I said, size large, is a 40 to 42 inch bust with a recommended ease of 4 inches. So this will be about 46 inches once it is blocked in circumference. And that feels pretty good. This will open up a lot. It is, oh, such a good length. It will grow and stretch a little bit, like I said, like a million times right now. Sorry, I am, I don't know. My head's all over the place. But yeah, it is really nice. I hope it looks nice on camera too. Let me take it back off and we can talk a little more about it. I'm so excited to block this. It's really gonna have a nice drape. So let's see if I could show you like the stitch pattern here. It's like a 2-row repeat. It's so pretty. It'll be nice and loose and open. The yarn I am using is Barocco Remix Light in the colorway Mist. And this yarn I've used in a couple other garments. This is the first time I've crocheted with it, and so far, so good. This is made with 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen. And it is 100% recycled fibers. I love Barocco Remix Light. The pattern does call for a fingering weight, but this is classified as a DK, but I would say it's much more of a like sport or like a heavier fingering weight. I even did like the wraps per inch, and it did like line up with a more fingering weight yarn. And I did meet gauge, and that is what matters. The main hook I am using is an F 3.75, and then for the edging right now I am using a size 7, 4.5 millimeter. The pattern recommended going up like half, like 0.5 hook size for the edging, but I don't have a 4.25 millimeter hook. I don't even know if they make a 4.25 millimeter hook. So we're doing the 7, which is like 0.75 millimeters bigger. And it's working out fine. It looks great. But yeah, I think I will finish this, I think today, if not tomorrow. I have, sorry, my bangs are getting like a little bit long. I need a trim, and it's getting a little bit annoying. That's why I'm playing with them so much. Apologies. I know it could be very distracting. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I have the rest of the second row of edging to do, and then the 2 short sleeves, but I think we are pretty on track for finishing that either tonight or tomorrow. I've really been focusing up on this because I'm feeling that like home stretch energy. Like I know I'm so close to being done, and I just want to do it. It's not, the test doesn't end until the end of June, but finishing early is not a bad thing. It's getting a little too big for this bag here. I'm having that problem with my other sweater project. I need to find something bigger to keep these in. Anyway, it's Jasmine Cardigan. This will absolutely be a finished object next time I record, and I'm very excited to like style it. The second work in progress I have going on is in this bag that I purchased at the Fiber Witch Festival. This is a bag. The maker is Stitched by Jessalou. And in here I have, the zipper caught the yarn. It's fine. I have my Honey Petal cardigan by Andrea Mowry. This is a cardigan I started on April 20th. Nope. I started the Jasmine cardigan April 29th. So now you know. I started this April 28th. And sorry, I'm just trying to like straighten it out here because it too is way too large for this bag I'm shoving it in, and it's all crumpled up, unfortunately. Okay. I have finished the yoke and have split 4 sleeves and am now working on the body of my Honey Petal cardigan. Like I said, this is This is a design by Andrea Mowry. I am making the size 5, which is a 46-inch bust. So that'll give me like 5-ish inches of positive ease, which would be nice. And the yarn I am using is Lamb Strings yarn Cori spun fingering in the colorways. This green is Eldritch. The lighter gold is Candlelight, and this darker gold is Amber. And I'm loving it so far. It's very cute. And now I just have lots of body to do. I think I calculated it to be like 9 or 10 stripes. Well, sorry. I should just hold it still. I have noticed that watching back that I move crap around too much. You need to be able to see. I'm so sorry. I need to be way more mindful of that. But yeah, like 9 or 10 stripes in the body, and then we'll try it on and go from there. Then we'll have sleeves and the button band. It's kind of on the back burner right now because I'm focusing on the Jasmine cardigan. But once that's done, this will be my main like sweater project again. I am using, I believe, size 4 needles. Yep, size 4, 3.5 millimeters. I went like 1 down from the recommended needle because my gauge was off. And then I have Kermit the Frog on this. Kermit, so cute. But yeah, I have not quite finished one ball of the main color here. And hardly anything from the 2 contrast colors. So I will have plenty of yarn to finish this. I have 2 more cakes of Eldritch up here. So that'll be plenty. The last 2 works in progress I have are both socks. One you have seen and one you have not. We'll start with the one you have seen. Oh, I have like I was knitting on this sock while waiting in line to get into my middle daughter's dance recital, and my toddler was running around and picking flowers and sticking them in my bag. So I have lots of like plant fiber, like clover crap in my yarn. Whoopsies. Got a receipt in there. I have like so much shoved in here. What is happening? I have both of my socks living in this bag right now because I just like having them together. The ones I'm working on a lot, at least. Okay, so I have almost 1 full sock that I am making for my husband. This is just a plain vanilla sock, but I did a heel flap and gusset. Maybe I could put it on the thing here. I think it is done enough that it won't like stretch the needles out. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, okay, no, we're good. Awesome, cool beans. That is so much easier to show you now. This is like a medium size sock blocker, and this is a large sock, so it's a little bit crumpled, but you can see it a lot better. Anyway, I did a heel flap and gusset, which is extremely unheard of, for me at least. Okay, let's get into it. We did a 2x2 cuff, about 20 rows, cast on 72 stitches, went down to the heel flap and gusset, and then continued on from there. The yarn I am using is Lang Super Socks, silk color 4-ply in the colorway Monday. And I really like how it's working up. It's so pretty. So pretty. Sorry. And admittedly, the heel flap and gusset wasn't as painful as I had built it up in my head. I have done a few of them before and did not enjoy my time with them, but I didn't mind it this time around. And if they fit my husband better, then it will be well worth it. Yeah, that's as far as I have gotten on this first sock here. And it's great for just, you know, standing in line, knitting. The one thing I don't like, I guess, it's probably just because of the way I did this. So I didn't change colors for the heel or anything. So when I did the heel flap and gusset and then picked up the stitches and stuff and started back in the round, you could see like the harsh change right here instead of like the gradient it's been doing. But I don't think it's awful. And that could have been remedied with like doing a contrast heel, but I didn't do that. And I'm not going to do it for the next one either. So we'll have the same problem. I'd like to have these finished for Father's Day. And I think that's pretty doable. Especially if I finish the Jasmine cardigan and have a little more brain power to focus on other things. I'm just gonna set this over here so I can show you my second sock in progress. These you haven't seen before. And let me just set this on the floor now. So this is the leg of a pair of, or the beginning of a pair of Hibernal Socks by Summer Lee. And it's this really cool, like ribbed and like mock cable pattern. It's a super easy repeat. I did the suggested 1x1 ribbing. I did this for like 24 rows, I think. It's a little bit longer than I usually do. That's okay. And I am getting ready to do the heel. I might do the heel flap and gusset for these socks, just to see how it would fit me, like just out of curiosity. But yeah, I've been kind of like working myself up to that. But yeah, I think I am going to do that. I want to do maybe another like repeat or two on the leg before I start that, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of like, I'm up in the air about it. I think she suggested doing like 8 inches of sock, but that's a little bit too long for me. So we'll see. We'll compare it against some other socks I have. The yarn I am using is Stroll Tweed in the colorway Lavender Fields Heather. And it's this very pretty purple. And I'll just do that for the whole sock. We won't do like any like contrast, anything. I think they'll be very pretty. I have another ball of this, so I'm not worried about running out by any means. and I am doing the like medium size 64 stitches on my 1.25 millimeter, no, 2.25 millimeter needles. And that's that. That is all I have right now. I want to see maybe if I could show you the stitch pattern a little bit better. Stretch it out on this guy again. Oh, that's looking really good. And I am going to need to do some more repeats, because stretched out, that is not a ton of sock. Yeah, I'll do like maybe another inch, maybe inch and a half, so they are like mid-calf. So pretty. I love it. Here, let me move that. Sorry, I see it good on my end. But yeah, that looks great. I'm excited about these. Put that back. And that's all. Those are all of my works in progress. And where's that other sock? Yeah, we could talk goals now. And I do have one, or like two, I guess, acquisitions to talk about, but we'll talk about goals first. All right, last time we spoke, my goals were to finish the Hello Pumpkin socks, done. My honey petal yoke, also done, and to finish one ball of yarn on the Jasmine cardigan, which is done and then some. So yeah, we checked all of our boxes. Yay! This time, for next time, I would like to finish the Jasmine cardigan. Completely doable. That is going to be done in the next like day, next 24 hours tops. I would like to clear up some sock needles because I'd really like to make a few pairs of shorties, but all of my sock needles are occupied. So yeah, we'll finish my husband's socks and then I could cast on a pair of shorties. And my third is to start another crochet project because I really like having at least one crochet project on the go, and when I finish my Jasmine cardigan, I won't have one. I don't know what I'd like to start next. Probably something summery, for obvious reasons. But my daughter has also requested something to be made for her. We started watching The Babysitter's Club on Netflix. Excellent show. But we were watching that together, and then we were watching last night, and one of the girls, Claudia, had on this like mesh-ish rainbow crochet sweater, and she's like, I really like that sweater. I was like, I can make that for you, like for sure. So I have a ton of like worsted weight cotton up in a tote upstairs, and I know I could get like at least like a partial rainbow with that. I might have to supplement like a ball or two, but like, oh, pull my arm, order yarn. But yeah, I could absolutely do that for her, and I think that's going to be what I start. I'm gonna have to find a pattern, and if I can't find one, I'll make one up. But I'd love for her to have that because she doesn't request a lot, so I always get excited when she does. But yeah, let me talk about my acquisition and then we could wrap up here. So over the weekend, my family and my husband and I, not that my husband isn't my family, our family took a trip up to like the Honesdale, Hawley area, up in like the Poconos, just to like poke around. There's a yarn store up there that I haven't visited yet and hadn't visited yet. And a bookstore we wanted to, well, a couple bookstores. One we were able to go to, one wasn't open. I'm rambling. Anyway, my husband grew up in the area, so we always like taking little drives up there. It's like maybe an hour, and he still has like a ton of family over there, so it's worth the trip. Anyway, we went to the yarn store. It is called Yarn Over the Falls in Hawley, Pennsylvania. It's if you're familiar with the area, it's in the old like silk mill, the big like castle building. It's like a tiny little shop, and it's so cute. They had a ton of like yarn I would have loved to purchase, but I was trying to be good after our huge influx of yarn from the Fire Witch Festival. So I just got a pack of stitch markers. These are the Cocoa Knits split ring stitch markers. I don't know how I'm going to show you this actually. These have been on my radar for a little bit because I thought they would be great for crochet, because I really hate, like, you know how in crochet when you have like a stitch marker marking something, obviously, and you need to like move it up a row with every row, and you use like the locking stitch markers, and I hate the inconvenience. I know this is such like a non-problem, but it's such an inconvenience to like unclip it and then reclip it in. But these, you just kind of like turn onto it, and I've been using them on the Jasmine cardigan, and they are working very well. They don't fall off. They lock in pretty nicely, and there's like 60 of them in here, and I'm really enjoying them. And then we went to Honesdale and got lunch and walked around there. We went to the bookstore, Known Grove bookstore, Known Grove something, and it was really cute. We've really been enjoying like visiting the little indie bookstores around us. Like there's a couple in Scranton, and we're up in Scranton quite a lot because our two older kids do like improv lessons up there. So we wander around Scranton a lot, and the bookstores over there are great. There's Friendly Alien bookstore and Pigeon Post. They don't carry like a ton of books, but they're like a book/art store. I love them. And then there is the Lost and Found bookstore over there, which we haven't been able to visit yet. That is next on our list. Next time we're in Scranton, we're going, well, they're moving locations, so we might have to wait until they move their location. Anyway, so we went to Honesdale, the Known Grove bookstore. It's like right on Main Street. It's so cute. They have such like a cozy like vibe, and obviously like picked up a couple books, but they had like this random cubby of Sweet Sparrow yarns, and it was just the one cubby, and they had some like non-superwash yarns, but I really liked this Tweedy Brown DK. This is the colorway A Bit of Earth, and it is a 8515 superwash merino and nylon tweed. And I showed so much self-control in the actual yarn store, but like when you see it yarn, like pretty yarn in the wild, someplace you're not expecting it. I don't know. It was hard to resist and I didn't. So that is what I got. It's very pretty. I think I'm going to make a hat with this. Maybe like a little cabled number. Yeah, it's very cute. I'm not mad about it. But yeah, that was a really nice little trip. And I would like to go back to the yarn store one day. They do collections for Knit the Rainbow, which is like an organization that collects like warm weather items for LGBT youth in different areas around the US. And I have been meaning to make some like charity items, so that'll be high on my list to do. I actually I don't think we talked about this, but I wrote down, where is it? Like 2026 goals, and one of them is to, let's see, 6 items for Knit the Rainbow. And I have made none, and it's the end of May, so I gotta get moving on that. That'll be like a summer goal, maybe, to get a bunch of things knit up. Some like hats, and maybe some like fingerless gloves or mittens. And then bring them up there so they could mail them out. Anyway, that is all we have for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Anyone new or returning, I really appreciate you coming back every time or finding me for the first time when I upload. Yeah, thanks so much for watching and listening to me ramble. I will see you in a couple weeks, hopefully with some new stuff finished. Bye.